That's it. Please sit down. Taking your interview in English or which language?
English, sir. English, sir.
English, okay. That's good. So you're Vedika
Yes, sir.
and you're a commerce student
Yes, sir.
from Sri Ram College of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
So this Sri Ram comes from?
So Shriram was Lala Shriram. He was known as Lala Shriram. He's a philanthropist and an industrialist.
Has he established any more colleges? Or
Yes, sir, Lady Shriram, in the memory of his wife Phulan Devi.
Lady Shri Ram College. Okay. And what was your subject for the?
So commerce and accountancy. Commerce and accountancy.
So you took commerce
Yes.
itself as a subject.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Right. Please.
Vedika. What is the meaning of Vedika?
So in Buddhist architecture,
Sorry?
in Buddhist architecture, the stupa's railing is known as Vedika.
Okay.
So the symbolic meaning is that it signifies the pathway from the worldly life to the spiritual life.
Okay. So, what is the main theory and principle of Gautam Buddha? Why he has left his family and started this?
So he believed that the world is full of suffering.
Word is?
The world is full of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to remove the suffering, we need to remove the ignorance.
Have you studied or?
Sorry, I did not get the question correctly.
Okay. तो गौतम बुद्ध कहाँ को बिलोंग करते थे?
So he was born in Lumbini, Nepal.
Lumbini in India?
No, sir. Right now it's in Nepal.
Okay. Why the Buddha teaching is spread other part of India, not in India?
Yes, sir. So there are many reasons for the decline of Buddhism in India. One of them is that there were reforms happening in the Hinduism as well that time, and also there was the invasion of the Huns when they killed a lot of Buddhist monks, and also the Buddhism underwent a metamorphosis where the principles they stood in, they were not exactly following the same principles. Like the monks had gone through transformation and there was more worldly attachments.
But at that time, all the powerful kingdom and royal family, they have supported Gautam Buddha.
Yes, sir.
Supported.
Yes, sir. But it got more localized.
And even Maurya dynasty, Ashok was this.
Yes, sir. But later on, it lost the state patronage from the rulers. So it spread to other parts of the world through different missionaries activities like Ashoka had sent. But later on, the Buddhism declined in India.
Okay, what do you know about the Adi Shankaracharya?
So Adi Shankaracharya established the doctrine of Advait Vedanta. I have to read more on that.
Okay. And what is the importance of your area where you belong, Riva and Satana?
So in terms of Buddhism?
No. In terms of history.
So Riva was a princely state.
And Satna? Why the Satna is famous?
So Satna is famous for, it is known as the cement city of India. Almost 9% of total production of cement in India happens in Satna.
Okay.
And it is also famous for the Bharut Stupa in Satna.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what is the business that your mother is doing? What is the industry?
So the business is mainly in warehousing and logistics.
So it is storage and transportation. Okay. So how did you land up in Mussoorie?
So I was studying in a boarding school in Mussoorie from class 5th on.
From class 5th on.
Yes.
So it must not be cold here.
No, no, sir.
It is not. You're right now coming from Missouri or where?
So right now I'm coming from Jiva itself.
From the okay. What is wrong with our taxation policy? Would it be part of commerce or economics?
So it would be a part of both.
Both. Huh?
Yes, sir.
What is wrong with India's taxation policy
So
or system?
so there are a lot of missing taxpayers. Like we don't have a good number of tax to GDP ratio because our economy is mainly informal in nature. So the tax base is not very wide in our country. That is one of the problems that I can see.
Okay. What else?
Uh,
Direct and indirect taxes.
yes, sir. So in indirect also GST has brought in a lot of reforms by creating uniform structure, but there are still glitches in the system, like the fake invoices that occurs in the system. That has also not let the India's tax to GDP ratio, like suppose it's right now 10 to 11%, but in the OECD countries it's almost 24 to 34%, which is a good number. So, sir, because the tax base is very narrow in India.
Okay. So has the GST actually helped the end consumer or not?
Yes, sir, it has. So the input tax credit system has also benefited especially the producers, and the system that was earlier been in place that had a lot of cascading of taxes. So GST has removed that particular layering of structure.
That is all right. But my question is, has the end consumer
Yes, sir.
benefited from GST?
Yes, sir.
Kaise? How? See, credit system
Yes.
helps the producer.
Yes, sir.
But this toffee, raw material 2 rupees,
Yes.
end product 5
we
rupees,
can-
wrapper 3 rupees, all this gets added when I buy this on the.
Yes.
I don't get any credit.
Yes, sir.
Everyone in the chain gets the credit, but I don't get a credit. So how has it helped me as a consumer?
So one thing I can think of is that there is now uniformity in the tax structure. So as a consumer, I will know whether I have to pay according to the tax slab rates, and I will not be cheated on that.
Okay.
So there is the harmonization of the tax structure that has been created.
Okay. Heard about UCC?
Yes, a uniform civil code.
What are the difficulties that you anticipate in implementation of UCC if it is finally brought about?
So uniform civil code is provided under the DPS, Directive Principles of State Policy, under Article 44. And there have been talks about it to whether we should implement it or not. But the difficulties and challenges, I believe, is that so the minorities feel a little threat that if they are brought under this uniformity, then it's a problem for them.
What are their issues with this?
So until unless we don't have a proper stakeholder consultation, then there will be a lot of issues in implementation of the civil code.
Is it only the minorities or the tribals also, of India also?
We can say both, sir. Because I'm not able to recall, but I think in Jharkhand there is one particular tribe that has its own code. Yes.
And also there is matrilineal society in the northeast.
Yes, sir.
Property passes on to the girl child.
Yes.
So that would be a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
You're from Delhi University.
Yes, sir.
What is the motto of SRCC and Delhi University?
So I'm not aware about the Delhi University, and SRCC, it's Jyotir Mats. I'm not able to pronounce the name, but it means that from darkness you move towards light.
Tamsoma Jyotirmaya.
Yes, yes.
Should be aware about your college, no? Your college logo has a picture of sheep sailing in the sea. What does it mean?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Who is visitor of Delhi University?
Who is?
Visitor of Delhi University?
I'm not able to recall.
How many women have become Vice Chancellor of Delhi University?
Sorry, sir. I don't
Why ad hoc teachers are protesting in Delhi University?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware about it.
You must have stayed in North Campus, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're not aware about the problem.
So at that time when I was studying, there were protests happening about the.
What was the issue? That is what I'm asking.
So I wasn't sure whether the protests are still happening. At that time, the protests were mainly happening because there was a lot of temporary suspension of the teachers, and they were, I think, not getting the regularized employment at that particular time.
What do you mean by ad hoc teacher?
They are on temporary basis.
Can you tell me about national education policy?
Yes, sir. So national education policy provided a continuum of education system, and it reformed from the present structure to, I think, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. I'm not able to recall it.
5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2.
Sorry, I'm not able to recall the correct. And it also,
What are the salient features of national education policy?
I have to read more on that, sir.
What is the difference between cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio?
Yes, sir. So cash reserve ratio, the banks are supposed to keep it with RBI as cash reserve, and statutory
In
liquidity
the form of cash,
in the form of cash.
right?
And statutory liquidity ratio is the banks have to keep it within themselves, invested in certain securities. And they both serve as mechanisms of credit control in the monetary
Do
policy.
you think the fundamentals of Indian banking system are very strong?
Yes, sir. Currently, they have been.
Why? Can you explain?
So presently, we have seen the NPA ratios as well falling from a good amount of 11% to now less than 5% in that terms. And also, we have domestically stable system of banking. We do not see much bank failures.
So you were a house captain, right? You were a leader of your house. So what are the qualities a leader must possess?
So the leader's foremost quality that the leader must possess is to lead by example. Only then they will follow you. So leading by example is one thing. And the leader should also have a vision to lead the followers and to have integrity.
That's it.
So if I could think of more, you would allow.
So your hobby is mandala art.
Yes.
Do you draw?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is NSS? Tell us about NSS, the history of NSS.
Yes, sir. So the NSS is National Service Scheme. It was announced in 1969 on the centenary.
Announced or
Announced as a scheme, as
Okay.
a
which
on
ministry is
Ministry of
coming under
Youth
this?
Affairs.
Ministry of Youth Affairs or Ministry of Education?
Not Ministry of Education, sir. Ministry of
Okay.
Youth.
Okay.
And the motto itself is not me but you. So it promotes community service from schools till college level.
What did you do as a member there in SRCC?
So I was the member of Project Sanskar of NSS, and we mainly taught the non-teaching staff children in the college.
In the college itself?
Yes, sir. They
So
used to come. They used to come every Wednesday, Thursday. The timings were allotted and the volunteers were given timings. So that time we had.
Did it disturb your class
No,
time?
sir. It happened after class time.
Do you think Indian Constitution should be replaced with new document?
No, sir. I think, sir, Constitution is a living document, and there have been changes and amendments as and when it is required. So we do not need a new.
One last question.
Yes, sir.
What is difference between procedural democracy and substantive democracy? And do you think India is a substantive democracy?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware about substantive democracy.
All right.
You need be aware. Just use the grammar. Saying procedural democracy. Just interpret it yourself. Don't worry about what they interpret. You interpret procedural democracy. What is it?
So procedural democracy, I believe, is having a certain set of procedures to be followed, and that there is
Procedures for what purpose?
to implement, to formulate laws and policies in the democracy, and to ensure that there is consultation with the people.
So there's a procedure.
Yes, sir.
Now, what does representative mean?
Representative would mean that
I mean, if you represent me or you represent all five of us, so it's more like that you.
that is the
So-
one we are having presently then. That one person is that we elect somebody and they represent
Yeah.
us in forming the.
Okay, tell me one thing. You come from Madhya Pradesh, and so let me ask you simple questions.
Yes.
So your mother comes from Jabalpur, your father is from Satna, you were born in Rewa.
Yes.
What is Jabalpur known for?
So Jabalpur is known for Bheda Ghat Falls.
For?
Bheda Ghat.
Bheraghat Fall. That is for tourism purposes.
Yes, sir. And
It's a very big ghat or it's a small one?
it is big.
It's big. Yeah, that is big. I mean,
No, that way. So that is
it's a-
small. That
but
is
it's
small.
famous.
And the marble rocks are very famous.
But is it marble?
Yes, sir.
It's really marble?
I have not seen it, but
We
I
haven't seen marble rock. So the name is marble, but it's marble. Is it marble?
I'm not sure about it.
You're not very sure. Okay. How do you relate, say, the Ministry of Defense with Jabalpur?
So there is a ordnance factory there.
What is the meaning of ordnance factory?
So I'm not aware about it, but they manufacture pistols and bombs. And
I mean,
there is a factory. there.
factory can do anything.
Yes, sir.
So it's.
It is manufacturing defense products, sir.
I mean, just in your mind, why do you think it was established there, Jabalpur of all places, so many factories?
So there is also a military cantonment area. In
Yeah, the cantonments are all over India. Just, I mean, guess.
So maybe because of the location of Jabalpur,
What is the location?
it will be easier to arrange the logistics
To?
to other parts of the country.
Yeah, I mean, you're guessing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Right? Those people, when they used to think about ordnance factories, to be put in a place which is safe and far away. So sometimes logical guessing is also not wrong, is it?
Yes.
Okay, what is the subject that interests you? I mean, apart from, you've studied commerce and accounts, I mean, those. Is there anything else which interests you?
So while preparing,
Do you read any books or poetry or?
so currently I have developed the
Apart
interest.
from, you mentioned, certain hobbies and all, art and reading novels. And what novels?
So mainly non-fiction. Mainly non-fiction.
Which ones?
So recently I have read The Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And I've read I Am Malala.
And?
I Am Malala.
I am Malala.
The girl who was shot dead by Taliban. The girl who was shot dead by Taliban.
By?
It was the title of the girl who was shot by the Taliban.
Malala.
Malala. Yusuf.
Okay. Okay, so that
She wasn't
interests you.
shot dead. She was
Yes, sir. She was shot. The title of the book was. Sorry.
Okay.